Did you know that you can delete a file in Linux and not actually delete the file? I remember when I was new to Unix, I was trying to remove files from a directory because I didn't want to install the program anymore. I did an ls, all the files were gone. A few minutes later, all the files were back. I thought I'd messed up. Again, I was new. That was the day I learned something that I'd never known before. In Unix Linux, a file is not defined by the name itself. There can be more than one name pointing to the same file. That's where the command ln comes in, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Let me show you what I mean. First, I'll create a simple file. Echo, this is a file. All right. And we're going to echo this to silly.txt. If I can type. All right. Let's do an ls minus l. We can see that we have a file there. We'll do more on that file. And it says this is a file. All right, now let's create a hard link to that file. ln silly, and we're going to do it sil. We're going to do silly2.txt. All right, and let's do an ls minus l. If you see now that there is, instead of a 1, if you look above to the first ls we did, there's a 1 there. Now there's a 2 there. That means that there's 2 names for the same file is what that's telling us. So if we do a more on silly 2, this is the file, the same data set. If I edit one file, so I do a vi on, let's do silly 2.txt. All right. And we're just going to do 1. This is a file. Okay. We do an ls. Okay. Do a more on silly. You can see that the file, even though I changed silly2.txt, the same data. So 2 names for the same file. Now, if we delete the original file. It's not really an original file. It's just actually one of the names of the file. But if we delete it, rm silly.txt, all right, and I didn't do an rf, so we do an ls. We actually have only one file there, but if we see, the data is still intact. And we do an ls minus l, we can see that there's only one file now, one file name linked to that file. A hard link is not a shortcut. It's not a copy. It's actually another name for the file. So as long as one name exists, the data exists. Now let's look at a symbolic link. This is one that I've always used a lot in the past because symbolic link will cross directory structures, hard drives, and whatnot. But it actually is just a symbolic link. Let's create one close. Let's do an ls minus l. All right. We have one file in this directory. Let's create a link, ln minus s. S is for symbolic. We're going to do silly. All right. And we're going to link that to this dot txt. All right. Now, if we do an ls minus l, and which is showing that it is a symbolic link here. And if you can see, you can point this out right here. It's a symbolic link. Now, the big difference here, the real big difference here is that we're actually showing a link up here. I can delete the link and not affect the original file. But if I delete the original file, the link is broke. In the same breath, I can edit the linked file and have it point. This is pointed to the original file. So if I do a more on the original file, it shows my edit. As I was saying though, if we do an ls minus l and I rm minus rf silly, right? Do an ls, we have a broken link. Right? It just broke. Because it was actually just a pointer to the other file, unlike a hard one. Now that we're looking at ls minus l output, we've already been reading permissions without even thinking about them. The first character tells us what type of file it is. A dash means a regular file, a D means a directory, and L means a symbolic link. Those R, W's, and X letters after that are the permissions of the file. Permissions are split into 3 groups: owner, group, and the world. Each group has 3 possible permissions: read, write, and execute. If there's a letter there, then the group has permission. If there's a dash, the permission has not been granted. So if you see RW dash, R dash dash, R dash dash, that means the owner can read and write, and the group can only read, and the world can only read. Now you'll often see permissions written as numbers, like 755. That's just a shorthand way of writing the same thing. Each permission has a value. Read is 4, write is 2, execute is 1, and if you add each group together, that'll explain the 755. So 7 means 4 plus 2 plus 1. Read, write, and execute. 5 means 4 plus 1. Read and execute. So 755, the owner gets full access and able to execute. The groups is read and can execute. And the world can also read and execute. All right, let's look at change mod here. All right, we have a directory. Let's do an ls minus l. We have read and write permission. We have a script, and the group has read, and the world has read. So let's try to execute this script. I do not have permission. So in order to execute the script, I need to give an executable bit on this. So let's do a change mod 766, and we want script.sh. Right? Do an ls minus l, I guess, and that tells me that I have read and write. I gave read and write to everybody. So I did that wrong. Let's do that again. Change mod. We're going to do 744 on script.sh. Right? ls minus l. All right. Now we have the right permissions on the file. We have read, write, and executable for us, read for the group, and read for the world. So let's try to execute that again. All right, and it did execute. I hit enter twice, but it says this is a script, and that's what that file execute. A lot of times, especially new to Linux, you'll read something and you go change mod 777. All right. What you did is you turned that script executable to the world, the group, and yourself. So if there's some admin type code in there, it could be problematic. This is not something that is done a lot. And remember, if multiple hard links point to the same file, changing permissions changes the permissions on all of them because it's the same data. Links only change the amount of names a file has. Permissions control who can access and write and execute the file. Okay, once you understand links and permissions, you stop thinking about files as just names in folders. And you start to understand how Unix and Linux actually manages data. That's when things really start to click. I hope you're enjoying the video today. And if I can be any help in your Linux journey, please drop a comment below. We're going to be covering, in a few weeks, we're going to be covering diff, sort, and compare. So subscribe. Thanks.